Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another edition of Seen Beyond and Through with Monty. Right before you is tennis legend, icon, sports superstar. I mean, you just cannot say enough about this lady, Miss Serena Williams. And we're just finishing up the ladies' singles final of the Australian Open tennis tournament. And I'm sure that a lot of you have seen the tournament. And I'm sure that a lot of you were disappointed about the tournament. Or those of you who were Serena fans were disappointed. Outcome was not what we really wanted for those of us who wanted to see her win. And not only win, but equal Margaret Smith Court's record. But I want to talk to you about emotional aspects of this and things that are on a little metaphysical plane. I was watching a tennis channel with this young man. He's very talented. You can watch his channel. Is it GS Tennis? Something to that nature. And I was reading some of the comments on there. And I was watching other comments about people which they made about this match. And they were talking about how, sympathetic they were about this Serena Williams outcome. They were very saddened, despair, very depressed. Let me just tell you guys one thing. Don't have those emotions about this particular match. And Serena Williams does not need these emotions, the sympathy, the sadness, the depression, because here's the thing. Those emotions, the sympathy and things taken out of the proper realm or where they should be placed. Let's say when a loved one has passed away, when something tragic happens, if you apply that to a situation like this, it can become a negative. It's almost like someone saying a prayer for someone and you're sending them good vibes, vibrations and thoughts that can uplift a person. But when you start having these sympathies, sadness, depressions, and things like that about the outcome, you're actually putting a weight on Serena. You got to be very careful with that. I understand this because I wanted her to win too. I was down a bit, but I'm not going to stay down though. You got to snap out of it very fast and send her tiger energy. It has to be very uplifting. So we cannot dwell on this type of a loss. And I do want to have some thoughts on this type of a loss that she happened. She was very saddened at the press conference. She was in tears, but I think a lot of this had to do with her play, not necessarily with her losing, because she played a terrible match. I mean, I have never seen her play so many unforced errors. Her serve was not working. And by the way, did you see her service? I think she's not going to admit this. She won't say anything about this. But in terms of speed and pace, Naomi outserved her. I think there was some issues with Serena's arm or shoulder because I noticed that she was spinning a lot of her serves in and she was not really going for her big serve like she normally does. And I'm sure that her camp would know that a power player like Naomi, you must equal her serve. And I think pace-wise, Naomi's serve was a lot bigger than Serena's. Speaking of that match, if Serena can beat someone like Sabalenka, I believe that she can beat Naomi. Naomi was almost taken out by Garbine Muguruza. So I think that the best of emotional things, pressure, got the better of Serena. And I think that coaching wise, go look at my video about, her current coach. She needs a whole new overhaul, to be honest with you. I'm very surprised that with this match against Osaka, that she did not have a plan two. And the way to play a power player like Osaka is that she did not employ any drop shots. She did not employ anything to bring her forward. Osaka's a good mover, but she moves very good from side to side. When people move very good laterally like that, you've got to do short shots to bring them in, take them out of her comfort zone. So I'm wondering, why didn't her coaching staff give her a plan two or backup plan, which is strange to me. And guys, another thing too. If you think these draws cannot be rigged, think again. Because remember for the past couple of Grand Slams, Venus, the oldest player on the tour, played Coco Gauff, the youngest player on the tour. That was to bring more tickets and excitement to the tournament. That was at Wimbledon and the U.S. Open. Serena's draw was rigged, I'd say, because they gave her a very tough draw, much more tougher than Naomi Osaka's draw. That was just to ensure that Serena would not break Margaret Smith's court's record. Serena had to get by, let's see, a Sabalinka. She had to get by a Halep. She had to, in order to win, she would have to have gotten by Osaka. And then what they were planning on is Ashley Barty in the final, for her to get by the number one player in the final. But Ashley Barty failed, though. So this was definitely rigged so Serena would not get that record. But I will say this much. Be very careful with dwelling in sympathy, sadness, despair, depression for too long. Do not direct that towards Serena Williams. Have an eye of the tiger mentality. She can do it. She's 39 years old. But let me just tell you one thing. 39 today in sports is not what it was 10 years ago. Serena still has a great, if she wants to go, has a great 2 years left on the tour. Definitely. She can, if Venus can play at 40 and still play good players and defeat good players at 40, Serena can still do it at 39, soon to be 40. So Serena has a couple of years left on the tour. But I do believe that she's going to have to shake up that staffing that she has right there, her coaching. Sports psychologists would come into play, things like that. And look at my video and you'll see why that I believe she cannot get rid of Patrick. I explained it in my past video. It's about 2 or 3 videos back. I go into great detail with that. But I'm going to end this video on a positive note that Serena's not through yet. I don't believe she's through unless she wants to be through. If she wants to be through, then hats off to her. She had a great career. She's still the greatest regardless. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, that was another edition of Seen Beyond and Through with Monty. And I will see you all beyond and through.